Hello guys, welcome to Dr. Science. So today we are going to talk about the muscles of the leg and its supply. So please ignore the background noise since I'm in the hospital and people are talking here. Uh, in order to understand this muscles of the leg, we have to understand what is meant by the lumbar plexus, because from the lumbar plexus itself the majority of the nerves will be coming. So we have to understand how the lumbar plexus is coming. Okay, so here is L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5, and here we have S1, S2 and S3. So this lumbar plexus is usually divided into anterior division and posterior division. In the anterior division, we have mainly two nerves, which is your obturator nerve, and the other one is your tibial nerve. So the obturator nerve is usually derived from L2, L3 and L4. So as you can see here, from L2, L3 and L4 will fuse together and form the obturator nerve. Okay. Next, the tibial nerve. Tibial nerve is usually derived from L4 to S3. So L4, L5, S1, S2 and S3 will fuse together and form the tibial nerve. From the posterior division, we have mainly two branches. One is your femoral nerve, which is derived from L2, L3 and L4. So as you can see here, L2, L3 and L4 will fuse together and form the femoral nerve. And finally, we have the common peroneal nerve. This common peroneal nerve is derived from L4 to S2. So once again, L4, L5, S1 and S2 will fuse together and form the common peroneal nerve. The common peroneal nerve is usually divided into two branches. One is your superficial branch and the other one is your deep branch. I hope you are clarified with the lumbar plexus. Next we are going to see the muscles of the leg. So in order to understand this, we will draw the leg lower limb here. So this is the thigh, and here is your leg, and this is the foot. So this is the thigh and this is the leg. So usually this leg is divided into two parts. One is your anterior compartment and the other one is your posterior compartment. Now the posterior compartment is usually supplied by a nerve called as your tibial nerve. So tibial nerve is going to supply all the muscles which are present in the posterior compartment, and in the anterior compartment there is this nerve called as your deep branch of your common peroneal nerve. So deep branch of your common peroneal nerve is going to supply the anterior compartment, or the muscles are present in the anterior compartment. If you are clear with this, next we are going to draw the diagram here. This is the coronal section of your leg. So here is the coronal section of your leg. As I already told you, we have anterior compartment, we have posterior compartment, and aside from that we also have the let me clear this one. We also have the lateral compartment. So this one here is your lateral compartment, this one is your anterior compartment, and this one is your posterior compartment. Now we have to talk about the muscles present in anterior, lateral and posterior compartment. But I want to say that I want to explain the nerve supplies in the anterior compartment. In the anterior compartment, it was your deep branch of your common peroneal nerve. And in the lateral compartment, the nerve supply was your superficial branch of deep peroneal common peroneal nerve. And in the posterior part we have the tibial nerve. So first we will talk about the muscles present in the anterior compartment. So once again we are going to draw the peroneal section of your leg. So this is the anterior compartment and this is the posterior compartment. So first we will talk about the muscles in the anterior compartment. So draw a little bit big here. In the anterior compartment there is tibia. Tibia is the bone. So this green color thing is the tibia. And in front of tibia there is a muscle present, hence this muscle is called as tibialis. It is called as your tibialis anterior. And aside from that there is a muscle called as your extensor hallucis longus. Don't worry, I will explain it in a second. And there is another muscle called as your extensor digitorum longus. Now what is the function of this extensor hallucis longus and extensor digitorum longus? In order to understand this we have to draw the leg. So this is the grade 2 and these are the digits. Okay. And there is this muscle which is coming from the grade 2. This muscle is helping in extension of the grade 2. Hence it is called as extensor. Hence it is called as your extensor hallucis. Hallucis means grade 2. Hallucis longus, since it is a very long muscle. Okay. Similarly, from the digits there are muscles which are very long. These muscles which are very long, and these muscles also help in the extension of the digits. Hence this muscle is called as your extensor digitorum. Since this muscle is going to the digits, it is called as your extensor digitorum longus, as the muscle is very long. Okay. So extensor hallucis longus and extensor digitorum longus are present in the anterior compartment. And not only that, we have a 3-headed monster here, and this is called as your peroneus tertius. Okay. So what are the muscles present in the, I'm going to draw this here. So what are the muscles present in the anterior compartment? In the anterior compartment, the muscles which was present in front of the tibia was tibialis anterior, and there were two extensor muscles. One was going to the uh, great toe, hence it is called as your extensor hallucis longus. And the third one was your extensor digitorum longus. The fourth one was a three-headed monster called as your Peroneus tertius. So all these muscles are present in your anterior compartment, and I already told you the nerve supply to the anterior compartment is your deep branch of your common peroneal nerve. Okay. If you are clear with this, next we are going to talk about the posterior compartment, since it will be very easy to understand this one, since I already talked about the anterior muscles of the anterior compartment. So here we have the anterior compartment, and here we have the posterior compartment. As I already told you, here is the tibia. So since this is the posterior compartment, there is a muscle posterior to the tibia, and what is this muscle should be called as? This muscle here is called as your tibialis posterior. Okay. And not only that, we also have the three-headed monster here, which is your Peroneus tertius. And aside from that, in the anterior compartment we were having two muscles which were helping in extension, but here there are two muscles which will help in the flexion of great toe. Hence this muscle is called as your flexor. Since it is going to the great toe, it is called as flexor hallucis longus. Okay. In the anterior compartment it was extensor, here it is flexor. Similarly, there is also flexor. Since it is going to the digits, it is called as digitorum longus. Not only that, in the posterior compartment we have mainly two muscles which are very important. I'm going to extend this a little bit here so it will be clear to you guys. So this is a posterior compartment, and this is the anterior compartment. So in the posterior compartment there is a popcorn shaped muscle. This popcorn shaped muscle is your popliteal, and aside from that there is a plant shaped muscle which is plantaris. Now not only that, the most important thing here is your gastrocnemius and the soleus muscles. Gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. Okay. So these are the muscles which are present in the posterior compartment. There are mainly four muscles which are extra here, which are your popliteal, plantaris, gastrocnemius and soleus. Aside from that, everything is similar to the anterior muscles of the anterior compartment. Okay. Now I already told you the posterior compartment is supplied by Vishnu. The posterior compartment is supplied by your tibial nerve. Okay. Now finally we are going to see the muscles present in the lateral compartment. Now this is going to be very easy, since there are not many muscles present in the lateral compartment. So here is your anterior compartment, here is your posterior compartment, and here is your lateral compartment. In the lateral compartment we have a very long muscle, and this muscle is called as your Peroneus longus. And not only that, there is a muscle which is very short, since this is short, it is called as a peroneus brevis. Brevis means short. So there is one long muscle and there is a short muscle, peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. And the nerve supply to the lateral compartment is your superficial branch of common peroneal nerve. I hope you are clear with this. Now I am going to summarize everything. First I will talk about the anterior compartment muscles. Anterior compartment muscles were supplied by deep branch of common peroneal nerve. Now common peroneal nerve is derived from anterior, it is derived from posterior division of lumbar plexus, especially L4 to S2. Okay. Now what are the muscles present in the anterior compartment? One was tibialis anterior, one was extensor hallucis longus, the other was extensor digitorum longus, and the three-headed monster peroneus tertius. Okay, so all these are supplied by your deep branch of your common peroneal nerve. Now we are going to talk about the muscles of posterior compartment. Now this is going to be very easy. There is a muscle called as tibialis posterior, and here there are the muscles are flexors, right? So flexor hallucis longus and flexor digitorum longus. Aside from that, we have the three-headed monster peroneus tertius. And the most important four muscles here are your gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris, okay, gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris, and what was the other thing? Popliteal. Popliteal muscle. Okay, so aside from these common muscles, there are also the special four muscles present in the posterior compartment. Now what is the nerve supplied to this one? The nerve supplied to the posterior compartment muscle is your tibial nerve. Okay, and tibial nerve is derived from anterior division of your lumbar plexus, especially L4 to S3. Okay, I hope you are clear with this. And finally we have the muscles of lateral compartment. Now the most important one were the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. And what is the nerve supplied to this one? Lateral compartment. It was superficial branch of your common peroneal nerve. Common peroneal nerve is derived from the posterior division of your lumbar plexus. So usually it is L4 to S2. So that was about it, guys. I hope you are clarified with this one. So these are the most important muscle you have to see, especially the posterior compartment. Thank you, guys.